What happens when you look across 100 of the biggest stocks in the market? You stop believing the myths everyone repeats online. Because after comparing company after company, one pattern became impossible to ignore. The biggest winners almost never looked like the hottest stocks at the time. And by the end of this video, you will understand why most investors keep chasing the wrong companies, while the biggest opportunities quietly grow in the background. Stay until the end because the final discovery completely changed how I think about investing. Let's begin. The first thing that shocked me: the biggest companies were not always the fastest growing companies. Everyone loves exciting stories. AI, electric cars, crypto, space. But excitement does not always create great investments. The companies that kept winning year after year usually had something much more powerful.
And this
Consiste de profit, strong leadership, loyal customers, and products people could not live without. The second thing I noticed: the market rewards patience more than intelligence. Some of the greatest performing stocks spent years doing almost nothing, while impatient investors kept buying and selling looking for the next big thing. Then suddenly those same boring companies exploded higher. Most people had already given up. The third discovery surprised me even more. The companies making the most headlines were rarely the best investments. News creates attention. Attention creates hype. Hype creates emotional decisions. But great investing usually happens before everyone starts talking about a company, not after. The fourth pattern: the biggest winners kept increasing their earnings, not just their popularity. Revenue matters. Profit matters. Cash flow matters. A company can have millions of followers and still be a terrible investment. The businesses that consistently increased earnings over many years were the ones that kept rewarding long-term investors. Number 5. Debt separated strong companies from weak ones. When business became difficult, companies with massive debt struggled. Companies with strong balance sheets survived. Some even became stronger while competitors disappeared. The sixth lesson: diversification actually works. Many people think putting everything into one stock is confidence. Sometimes it is just unnecessary risk. Even professional investors spread their investments because nobody can predict the future perfectly. The seventh discovery: the market rewards innovation. The companies leading technology, healthcare, artificial intelligence, and software often created entirely new industries instead of competing in old ones. They solved problems that millions of people had, and investors rewarded them over time. But here is the biggest lesson of all: the best stock is not always the company with the biggest returns this year. The best investment is often the company that can still grow 5, 10, or even 20 years from now. That mindset changes everything. Because instead of asking, what stock will double next month, you start asking, what business will still dominate a decade from today? That one question eliminates most bad investments immediately. Here is something almost nobody tells beginners: trying to get rich overnight usually makes people poorer. Trying to build wealth slowly is what actually creates millionaires. Compounding looks boring, until one day it looks unbelievable. The investors who become wealthy are usually not the ones making the most trades. They are the ones making the best decisions and then having the patience to let time do the work. So after looking across 100 companies, one conclusion stood above everything else. Successful investing is not about finding the perfect stock. It is about buying great businesses at reasonable prices, staying patient, and letting time become your biggest advantage. Because while everyone else is chasing the next big winner, real wealth is quietly being built by people who understand one simple truth. Time in the market beats trying to perfectly time the market. If you want more videos breaking down investing, stocks, AI companies, and wealth-building strategies, subscribe now, because the next investment opportunity is usually found before it becomes the biggest headline.